Hello and welcome back to the port. I'm the Gap Major and this is Wales Weekly. Wales Weekly is the weekly news video covering World of Warships Legends in the week past, week present and week future. It's also a place where I cover some of the speculations regarding the game, sometimes covering intelligence that has been able to be gathered by Ring 40, along with channel admin and things like that, I guess you could say. So, starting the batting off with the Order and Discipline campaign and the breakdown of that, the link to which will be down in the description. So, as you already know, the campaign is 100 milestones over 5 weeks, 2,500 doubloons in order to unlock amateur backing, which the campaign ship and some additional rewards are locked behind. It's completely voluntary and you don't necessarily have to do it. So it's down to you to just determine whether it's justifiable to go for get the ship or get all the additional rewards along the way. Personally, I usually just get it for the rewards. I don't really care too much for the tier 7 premium ships because I've got so many that they usually just rust in the port. So at the moment, the P bag ration, although potentially quite a nice ship, is going to be sitting on top of the scrap heap along with the Jean Bar and a number of other ships, I guess you could say. Nothing against the Jean Bar, I should say. Anyway, also this campaign, there will be no catch-up mechanics. So basically, everything's going to be open for a week only. So if you miss a week or don't complete a week's weekly habit, for example, you will be missing out on Renowned. The old campaign design of the Endurance Trials as a chain, then unlocking the Shakedown Trials, is going to be a thing this time. Now, it will be the same missions every week, so there's going to be quite a bit of familiarity with them. Now, there will be a separate heroic effort mission card, which will also reset weekly throughout the update. And these can be completed independently of the regular campaign missions. Furthermore, completing all the heroic missions will reward you by completing the campaign up to a week earlier. Now, when it comes to the weekly habit, first of all, the endurance trials are in a chain, so you have to complete them one by one. These can be completed in standard battles or versus AI battles in tier 3 to tier 7 ships. So legendary ships are excluded from these endurance trials. These will reset weekly, it's worth mentioning. So stage 1 is earn 7,500 XP. The next one's earn 650,000 credits. Stage 3 is earn 4,500 base XP. Fourth stage is earn 700 global XP, and the fifth stage is earn 7,500 commander XP. Once you completed your endurance trials, you will unlock the shakedown trials, all of which will suddenly become available. So there'll be 4 of them. Shakedown trial 1 is first of all, Shakedown Trials, these can all be completed in standard battles only, tier 4 to 7 ships or legendary ships. So legendary ships are going to be partitioned separately from these. Trial 1 is destroy 10 enemy ships in either standard ships or legendary ships. Basically, either you have to destroy 10 enemy ships in tier 4 to 7 ships or 10 enemy ships in legendary tier ships only. For trial number 2, again it's broken down into legendary or what I call the normal ships. That's deal 300,000 damage to enemy battleships. Trial 3, again split. This is deal 150,000 damage to enemy cruisers. And for the fourth trial, you're looking at having to do 50,000 damage to enemy destroyers. And it's worth noting that it's the same value for all these trials. For both sides of the card, so we've got the legendary side of the card or the tier 4 to 7 ship side of the card, so that's quite amusing. It does mean that potentially some of these things are going to be easier to do at legendary tier because there's more damage on the table to dish it out on, but then at the same time that might cost you more credits at the end of the day because of the ship service cost, and personally I would say it would also be a lot less fun. Going on to the heroic effort, so this obviously will reset weekly and the free cards are going to be open every time. Now heroic efforts are completable in standard battles only, tier 5 to 7 ships or legendary tier. So again, legendary tier is being separated off here, but what you have to do at legendary tier is exactly the same what you have to do at tier 5 and tier 7, or for tier 5 to tier 7 ships. So heroic effort 1 is earn 2 Kraken Unleashed medals. Heroic effort 2 is earn 2 high caliber medals, and heroic effort 3 is earn 2 Dreadnought medals. Now, by doing all this, so the campaign you will require 2,475 renowned. If you complete all of the weekly Havoc missions only, you will earn a total of 2,500 renowned. If you complete all of the weekly Havoc and the heroic effort missions on a week by week basis, then by the end of the campaign you will earn 3,125 renowned. Now, obviously, once the campaign finishes, we go on to the endless trials, which is where you can then earn steel. So by doing this, you will be able to earn a maximum of 250 steel per week, and obviously that starts out day one. So it means if you, heaven forbid, I wouldn't ever advise it, but if you so desire to buy out the campaign on week one, you could potentially earn up to 1,250 steel by the end of the patch. Seriously, just don't do that. Anyway, so each milestone that you complete in addition to the end of the campaign will earn you 5 steel, and each mission or milestone is 25 renowned. Once you've completed the campaign, as part of the endless trials, you will get daily trials and weekly trials in order to earn steel. These are basically just earn XP at legendary tier or at the other tiers, those other tiers being standard battles or versus AI battles, tier 3 to tier 7 ships. The weekly trials again is just earn XP, commander XP, credits, global XP and base XP in legendary or non-legendary ships. Those being in standard battles or versus AI battles, tier 3 to 7 ships, or legendary tier, I should add. So that's the campaign breakdown. Sorry it's been a little bit long in the tooth, but hopefully we can just start cracking on with some of the rest of it. So this week has obviously seen a return of week 1, the wave 1 I should say, of the Transformers content. And it's worth noting that the patch notes have been updated to include the Transformers content, which the CCs did get, but then we were told not to post unless we'd already posted it. But so I kind of managed to get the cat out of the bag in WoWs Weekly. Not sure about some of the others, but yeah, basically Transformers. Now, what I did say in WoWs Weekly is definitely confirmed. So obviously Grimlock, French battleship commander, Hot Rod, British cruiser commander, Soundwave, Italian cruiser commander, Starscream, a German aircraft carrier commander. So this week we see wave 1, which is the original wave that we had August last year. Next week, starting Monday the 6th, we will see Wave 2, and that's where these commanders and those permanent camouflages for the Richelieu, the Edinburgh, the Amalfi, and the August von Parsifal will be coming into the game. I don't think there's. It looks like there might be more information forthcoming, so potentially that could come out today or tomorrow, depending on how it goes. But more likely that will just be a further breakdown of the actual specialist skills that these commanders offer, and potentially some nice screenshots as well. So obviously this patch sees the early release of the Soviet destroyers, tier 4, 5 and 6. Now obviously because they're early access only, they are stashed away in crates. My personal opinion is it's not really worthwhile trying to get these ships. They're interesting once the patch is finished. If you haven't got some of them and you want to grind for them, then that's perfectly fine. But I would probably highly advise against purchasing crates in order to try and get early access to them. That's just my personal opinion, really. When it comes to these crates, the Soviet destroyer crates, which is like the basic one, I believe you can only really earn that through campaigns or things like that, so you can't buy this one. And the most common reward is going to be free victory camos. When it comes to say actually getting the early access ships, you'll see that the tier 4 is only a 5%, the tier 5 is a 1.5%, and the tier 6 is 0.5%, which is on par with the tier 4 premium Russian destroyer, the Gremshansky. This is also the first time we've seen the return of the Gremshansky since her I think she was a campaign ship way back in the day. Now, the big Soviet crates are available in the store. I would advise against purchasing them, but what you do with your own money is up to you. Again, the top reward is the the victory camos, I guess you could say. But the tier 4 Russian destroyer has 11% chance drop rate, the tier 5 has a 5% drop rate, and the tier 6 has a 1% drop rate. So basically you're most likely going to be getting the lower tier destroyers if you do decide to get these crates, or if you are getting these crates for free, I should say. It's also worth noting, if you do get these destroyers out of these crates and you're not particularly interested in them, don't sell them. Keep hold of them, because if you sell them, it will recognize that you don't have one in your inventory, and therefore you're most likely going to get it again. So it means if you really don't care about these destroyers, but you end up getting the sub, don't sell it, just hold on to it until the end of the patch, and then if you want to sell it after the patch. The reason being is obviously a tier 4 ship's not going to get you a lot of money. If you sell it, you're most likely going to get the tier 4 again, whereas if you keep the tier 4, you obviously improve your chances of potentially getting the tier 5 or the tier 6. Those are worth more credits. So if you want, try and think of it a game way. If you could either collect all three by accident potentially, and then sell them all at the end of the patch, or you could retain the tier 4 and maybe sell the tier 5 and see if you get that again. Maybe it just depends on how desperate you are on credits, but that's just a little bit of advice there. I don't sell them really. Obviously this patch we do have a new big container. I did briefly go over this during the patch notes look and things like that, but just to give you a quick rundown, you're most likely going to be getting credits, global XP and commander XP and type 3 consumable camouflages out of it. There are some interesting rare items, this being 10 promotion orders, 7 days premium, 1 commendation, 1 insignia, HMS London, USS West Virginia, the Victor and 1,250 balloons. All of those will basically, they will replace the free slots, so you only get 1 slot, so you only get 1 of those. The chances of those dropping is only less than 2.6%. It starts at 2.6% and it goes all the way down to 0.07%. So they're very, very rare. So again, don't just buy loads of crates hoping for the rare items, because you're probably not going to get them. If you get free crates and you end up getting them, fine. Just don't buy crates. Generally the advice, I guess you could say. In regards to the community managers, they are doing a live stream on Friday the 3rd of September, so that's tomorrow for those of you interested. Now I will, as always, be going through it with a fine tooth comb, collecting any information and discussing that, or really commenting on it next WoWs Weekly. I guess you could say I watch it so you don't have to, but if you do want to watch it, feel free to tune in. It's going to be probably the usual time that they do. I expect an announcement either later today or tomorrow in regards to the exact timing of it all. Now regarding Arena, it looks like Arena Season 5 is going to be starting on the 9th of September. And when it comes to the Arena Awards, it's not obviously set in stone, but looking at the release trailer of this patch, it looks like there's going to be rewards for participating, top 90, top 50, top 25, top 10 and top 1%. It's interesting to note that there will be steel available from the top 90%. So again, I think this is Wargaming honouring their comment that they're going to be increasing the potential of people to earn XP through the game. Or not XP, I should say, earn steel, I should say. So for just participating, you're looking at 3 promotional orders, 2 common crates and 300 paint. For the top 90%, you'll also get 5 promotional orders, 10,000 global XP and 100 steel. For the top 50%, you'll also get 1 Soviet commander crate, 1 basic Russian destroyer crate, and an additional 150 steel. If you get to the top 25%, in addition, you will be getting 5 more promotionals, 5 victory cannons, and 200 more steel. For the top 10%, the additional rewards you'll be collecting will be 1 universal accommodation, 1 basic Russian destroyer container, and a further 300 steel. And for the top 1%, you will get 1 big Russian crate, 2 days premium, and 500 more steel. So that means in total available through this will be a maximum of 1,250 steel, it would appear. along with 13 promotion orders, 1 universal accommodation, 2 small Russian destroyer crates, 1 large Russian destroyer crate, 2 days premium, 5 victory camos, 10,000 gold XP, 2 common containers, and 300 paint. For me personally, I'd say I might just aim for the top 10%. It's really only universal accommodation that obviously piques my interest. Apart from that, the rewards don't exactly get me all that excited, but then that's because when it comes to steel, there's not really anything there that I'm interested in, I have to be honest. So that is everything. Obviously regarding Arena, there will be a dedicated post coming out later today from the World of Warships community team, which will basically give the proper breakdown of rewards and further details regarding the arms race mechanic and which tier we'll actually be playing in which season and things like that. So that I do look forward to reading at least. In regards to intelligence collected by Room 40, I think quite a few people have potentially spotted it within the trailer, and Room 40 have been able to partially expand upon what we are seeing. So as you may be seeing now, we can see the Tier 5 Tech Tree Russian cruiser, the Gorky. Now, if you do some research regarding the Gorky, you will find that it's actually a Kirov class cruiser. What does this mean? Well, generally it implies that there is going to be a future alternative Russian cruiser tech tree split, potentially starting at Tier 5. Now, having done some research over on the World of Warships PC, just to see what kind of ships we could potentially expect, I mean, it would generally seem that it could be like a heavy cruiser tech tree split, but the issue I have is that in regards to the Tier 6, well, potential Tier 6 cruisers, there isn't exactly an existing cruiser over on the PC game for the Russian Navy which has like a heavy caliber gun for the tier. Obviously the Kirov only has 7-inch guns, but whether at Tier 6 we could potentially see maybe the Lazo, maybe. I'm not quite particularly sure. In regards to Tier 7 though, I'd be heavily anticipating the Tallinn as a potential tech tree Tier 7 cruiser for a tech tree split for the Russians. That would be what I'd anticipate. However, this is all just a bit of speculation and a little bit of intelligence that we've been able to gather. But I'd like to say thank you very much to Room 40 for bringing this to my attention. I'll let them scurry away as they continue to decipher enemy intercepts. In regards to the channel news, obviously it's going to be a busy couple of weeks. Lots of ships to review. We've got the P-Bag ration that needs to be reviewed. We know we've got to also review the destroyers that have become early access. Furthermore, potential future premium ships, although we don't know exactly when they are scheduled. Potentially the Transformers commanders might even end up having a little video, you never know. But also on the back burner, we do also have the Worcester and the Kleber, which do need to be let's played at least, I guess you could say, to give a general idea of what they're like, or at least my opinion on them, I guess you could say. Well, in regards to that, that seems to be absolutely everything, so I'll let you ladies and gentlemen go. Thank you for coming along, and if you did enjoy WoWs Wiki, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If this content, feel free to subscribe, and I say thank you to all the subscribers, which is most likely everyone who does actually watch WoWs Wiki, and also like to say thank you to the patrons for their continued support of the channel. As you do know, the channel is non-monetized. Down in the description, all those lovely links that I mentioned, along with the image of the channel for sending your game captures, and the link to Patreon if you too also would like to support the channel. Until next time, I'm the Galloping Major, and back to the port.
Hey, hey, clear the way, here comes the Galloping Major. Bumpity, 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 bump. Get out of the way there, you fellows, unless you want me to run you down.